So hello everyone, welcome back to our new episode of Sky This Week video series, and I hope that you all are doing very good at your home. So as you all know that every week we bring a new video for you in which we discuss the major astronomical events that is going to happen in that particular week. So we have taken this initiative especially at a time when this lockdown situation has provided us the clearest sky ever possible from almost everywhere, and we started making videos on these topics for all of you. And I hope that you have been watching our all episodes of Sky This Month video series or Sky This Week video series, and you must be learning a lot from all those videos. And I hope that you must have been observed the different celestial phenomena told by us time to time in our all episodes. So let's jump on to the video, and today we will discuss about the celestial phenomena and astronomical events that is going to happen in this particular week. So we start from the 3rd of May, and we can see that the Jupiter is about to rise from the east direction, and we will observe the Jupiter for a reason. I'll share it with you later. So just fast forward the time so that the Jupiter attains a sufficiently high position in our sky. So this is the planet Jupiter. If we try to recenter it and zoom it, you can see that this is the planet Jupiter, and these Ganymede, Callisto, Io, Europa are the moons of the Jupiter, and these 4 moons will be visible at that time. So today we will observe interesting phenomena with the help of this application. So Io, which is one of the 4 Galilean moons of the Jupiter, so when it will cross the disk of the Jupiter, it will cast a shadow onto a portion of the Jupiter's surface. So a small round and black shadow can be seen on the giant planet Jupiter. It can be seen even with a smaller telescope. So to observe this phenomena on this application, we need to fast forward the time. So we can see on the screen that Io is passing in front of the Jupiter. So this phenomena can also be seen with a small telescope. So Metis is also one of the moons of the Jupiter, but its size is not enough, so it is not casting any shadow onto the surface. So last month we have witnessed the Lyrid meteor shower, which was observed at its peak on 21st and 22nd of April. So if you missed that rare celestial show, so don't be hopeless. The nature is providing another amazing opportunity to you. So I'm feeling very glad to announce you that another meteor shower, the Eta Aquarid meteor shower, is going to happen in this week. So although it is active from 19th of April to 28th of May, but it will produce its peak rate of meteors around 5th of May. So today in this video we will see how to observe the Eta Aquarid meteor shower and what is the best time to observe this meteor shower. So radiant will appear to emerge from the direction of Eta Aquarid. So we have already told you that the meteor showers are named after their originating constellations. So radiant will appear to emerge from the constellation of Aquarius, so that we have named it the Eta Aquarid meteor shower. So we need to fast forward the time to see the constellation Aquarius. So you can see on the screen that the Aquarius constellation rises just after the 2 a.m. in the morning. So shower will not be visible before around 2 a.m. in the morning. So it is a golden opportunity for those people who wake up early in the morning. So this is the constellation Aquarius, and this is the brightest star of Aquarius constellation, Alpha Aquarii. So we identify a bright stars in almost every constellations, so to easily identify those whole constellation with the help of a single bright star, which can be easily visible, which can be easily observed from almost everywhere, irrespective of the light pollution, irrespective of the weather conditions. So this is the constellation Aquarius. So just after the 2 a.m. in the morning, it will rise from the east direction. So to identify the constellation Aquarius, you just need to download some application from the Play Store. So there are some application like Star Map or some more application like this. So you can easily identify any celestial objects or any constellation with the help of those applications. So this is the constellation Aquarius. So Eta Aquariids is one of the two meteor shower created by the debris of comet Halley, and Earth passes through the Halley's path around the Sun a second time in October. So in October, this comet, the same comet, will also create an Orionids meteor shower. So the meteor shower will be visible after 2 am. So the best time to observe it from 4 to 5:30. So it will then remain active until then 5:30 am in the morning. So while observing the meteor shower, it requires a lot of patience because the exact number visible depends on your place, the sky condition on your place. Don't forget to observe this rare and beautiful celestial phenomena. So although the meteors will appear to emerge from the constellation of Aquarius, but it can be seen in anywhere in the sky. So on 6th of May, moon will reach the closest point in its elliptical orbit, and we call it perigee. So it will be at a distance of 3,63,000 km away from us. So because we all know that moon's orbit around the earth is elliptical in shape, and sometime it is closest to our earth and sometime it is farthest from earth. So when it is closest to earth, that point is called the perigee, and when it is farthest from earth, so that point is called the apogee. So on 6th of May, moon will reach to the closest point to our earth. So on 7th of May, moon will reach to its full phase, and at this time the moon will be directly opposite to the sun in the sky, and it will remain high above the horizon for much of the night. So this is the moon. Let's recenter it and try to focus. So this is a moon, and at that time it will be shining with a magnitude of minus 12.38, and it will be 99.9% illuminated at that time. So this is our moon, and I would like to share another fact with you, that this month's full moon takes place close to the time when the moon makes its closest approach to the earth, and it is called perigee. So along with the full moon, it will be also the closest to our earth, and that point is called perigee. So this is the perigee full moon, and perigee full moon like this occurs roughly once every 13 months. So the sequence of full moons through the year are often assigned the names according to the seasons in which they will be occur. So it is the second full moon which will occur in the spring season 2020. So it is called the milk moon. So don't forget to observe the milk moon. So on the 8th of May, there is another meteor shower is going to happen, the Eta Lyrid meteor shower. So last month we have witnessed the Lyrid meteor shower, and this is the Eta Lyrid meteor shower, and it will be active from 3 to 14th of May, and producing its peak rate of meteor around the 8th of May. and shower's radiant point will be in the constellation of Lyra, and it will remain until the 5 a.m. in the morning. So we'll find the constellation Lyra. So we just need to fast forward the time because Lyra was not present in the sky. So now you can see on the screen that this is the constellation Lyra, and this is the brightest star of the Lyra constellation, and the name of this brightest star is Vega. So it is very easy to identify because it is also the part of Summer Triangle. So irrespective of the light pollution, you can easily find this star. So with the help of this star Vega, we can easily find the whole constellation Lyra. So don't forget to observe the beautiful meteor shower. So on 9th of May, the moon will be at aphelion. So moon's monthly orbit around the earth will carry it to its farthest point from the sun, and that particular point is called the aphelion. And at that point it will be at a distance of 1.0118 astronomical unit from the sun. So this is our moon. Let's recenter it and try to zoom. So at that time it will be in the constellation of Ophiuchus.